Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the fourth episode of Tape Talk covering the 2025 NFL season. As always, I'm your host, Jordan Lauby. If you've been following along with the series, we talked about Jalen Hurts and some of the struggles the Eagles offense had. Seems like they've turned a corner there, which is great. We talked about how the Falcons defense has been playing, at the time was playing great and stifled a really good Bills offense. They've been horrible since then. And then we talked about the Colts run game and why they excel, and they continue to do that, at least last week against a bad Titans team. This week, hopefully we can start breaking that curse. And we're going to cover the Packers passing attack and specifically what Jordan Love did and how the Packers exploited holes and weaknesses with the Steelers defense, which normally is their strong suit, but this season, they've really struggled to maintain that outside of their pass rush. So we're going to break that down. I'm going to go through all the Packers pass plays, all the Steelers defensive snaps. This is going to be more offensive focused than defensive focused today, but we will get back to the defensive side of the ball shortly. First play, 2nd and 6 here. Second play, the drive. And of course, NFL Pro wants to, did they not capture that play from the sideline? Interesting. Well, either way, you're going to get Tucker Kraft here. Christian Watson's in the wing position, which is interesting. And Tucker Kraft is out here as the flex snug receiver, or not even flex, but the snug receiver. Really interesting look. I wonder if they're going to motion Christian Watson away or split him back across. Nope. So they're just going to run a switch concept. I couldn't really tell if this was an RPO. I don't think it was. No, it wasn't. So you're just going to get the stick from Kraft and you're going to get a quick flat. If you watched my Eagles breakdown, that was the first episode of the series we did. We talked about how that's an easy way to get chunk yards in second and mid. Like, this is a perfect time to run this type of play. And getting that switch look, defenses, their alerts run because he's at the Y position where Tucker's out in the kind of XZ position, if you want to call it that, or flanker, really, whatever you want to call it. A lot of people call it different things. But you're going to get that quick flat by Watson, comes out quick. He gets the ball. Nice design touch for his first game back in what feels like forever. I think he's only played 4 or 5 games in the past 2 seasons. So that was good to get a quick design touch to him quickly to the flat there. Cool. All right, let's see. Next play. Now you got 3rd and 1. So doors are open. Packers can run whatever they want. We're going to get this bunch look to the bottom here with Romeo Doubs ISO to the top. And it looks like the Steelers are kind of in an underfront with the 2I/1 tech to the strength, or at least what I would determine as the strength. So they motion Watson over to kind of dissect what the coverage is. Now, with motions in today's NFL, usually that was how you could tell what coverage it is. Defenses do a much better job of disguising coverages, even with a guy following someone across the formation, especially now with match coverages. But with Joey Porter pressed the way he is, I wouldn't be shocked if this was true man coverage, especially with the one high safety here over the top. So Love's going to get the ball. And this was a low pass. Not a great start for this offense on this drive. But I like what they're trying to do. Okay. So you're going to get that same stick concept here to the bottom with the click flare. You're going to get Kraft sitting in the middle somewhere. And I believe you're going to get a spot in the middle and another hitch on the outside. Or just a post. And he's got an in-break option, it looks like. So Watson goes all the way across, and he's going to run this deep post. We're going to get this kind of either he's going to sit or he's going to go across depending on the coverage. And then you're going to get that same hitch flat concept or stick concept to the bottom here. So Love immediately looks to the bottom. I don't know if he's looking at Kraft and he sees this corner closing, but you only need a yard. I would like to see him throw this ball to Golden right now and trust your receiver to make a play. But he takes his eyes off it. He comes back to the other side and he sees Doubs has really good leverage here. Like, yeah, it's not great separation and he might be getting held throughout the route, but he knows the route's going to break to the inside because it's vacated. So Jordan Love winds up, gets the ball out, and just misfire happens. Let's watch this from the end zone so we can see what his eyes are looking at. So they're going to motion Christian Watson across. He sees Jalen Ramsey go with him. He's like, all right, it's man coverage. Again, his eyes are this direction to Golden and Kraft. I don't know why he didn't just pull trigger. Maybe he thought the safety was going to, or the outside corner was going to be able to come down and make a play. Regardless, eyes back inside. Really good blitz pickup from Josh Jacobs here to give him the passing window. Just a good defensive play by Porter. A little bit of a low ball from Love. But I like what they're trying to do. Just get the ball out quick, get the guys in space. Okay. So now I believe this is Fitzpatrick. They motion into the backfield after being lined out wide. Now we have this eye concept, or strong eye, some people call it, with Kraft as the H-back and Golden in the snug look. It looks like they can it. So it looked like the intended play might have came to this side. Now they're going to can it, or at least they're going to check out of what the first call was. Okay. And it's going to be play action. Nice. Beautiful. So let's see exactly why they call this. Okay. So you're essentially going to get you're going to get play action. You're going to get Kraft on a split. And then you're going to kind of get this deep post / dig here. And then probably a post on the backside. So it's a two-man concept. They want to get these guys coming downhill, especially with this rotation. Pull the linebackers up, which is what the play action successfully does, especially with Kraft splitting away. It's going to pull them down. He might have either guy open there if the route progresses or he lets the play develop. But that's a really, really good read from Jordan Love. Just see it, get it out quick, find your guy in space. Okay, so we're going to get the motion. He sees there's no rotation, so they check back. Late rotation shows, gets his eyes to the middle, bang. That's perfect. Like, this is just perfect QB play on this type of play. Get the fake, get your head around, find the open space in the middle, because there's at least 10 yards of open space in the middle of the field because they got Holcomb to bite and Dobbs right over the middle. That's beautiful. Really good process. Okay. Let's see. So they're going to get motion with Melton coming across. And again, a nice little sit route here from Dobbs. You're going to get a clear out from Kraft over the top. I believe there's another clear out there. It might be a post or a corner. I wasn't sure what the end of the route was, but you're going to get this nice deep sit in the middle from Dobbs here. And again, the Steelers, they like to play a lot of cover 3, especially with blitzes. So they're expecting this, okay? And that's exactly what they get. They get some kind of cover 3. Jordan Love gets the ball out in space. Because it looks like he's going to sit over the top. They might exchange this where this is just match. If Ramsey guys goes deep, he's going to take him. If he doesn't, he's going to go to the flat. And then he's going to pick up whoever gets vertical. And it's probably the same thing on the other side. If his guy sits and stays in, he's going to bail and get deep. And then Porter's locked on Kraft. We're going to see what happens. And it might be inverted. So let's see. Okay, so Porter's going to bail. Ramsey's going to sit. And you're going to see this nice window open up right here for the ball to get the Dobbs. That's awesome. I don't think we need to see that from the end zone. Again, they're just picking apart cover 3. Because that's all they've run the first couple of plays. Okay, so now we get the motion, try to get a tell. Good little quick game action there. This is all pre-snap read. He sees defenses overloaded to the bunch. This is probably duo to the front side if he's going to mesh, which he sees he's got all this space. He's going to the flat right away. Just throw it. It's 1st and 10. Get chunk yards. Yeah. It's supposed to be RPO duo on the inside. And he just says, well, if he's giving me all the space and he's coming here, He's the only overhang. Like, yeah, Highsmith could bail, but that's probably not going to happen, especially if his guy goes down inside. He's going to follow with it. Or if he comes out to him, which he does, no reason for him to bail if he was going to on that. But get the ball out quick to Heath. Really good pickup there. Nice. All righty. Let's see this one. 1st and 10. Ball at the 16. They're in the high red. They motion Kraft across. They just bump and travel. And again, just quick reads. And Kraft is a yak monster. His nickname that's getting popular is Yak and Cheese, which I think is incredibly fitting. But they motion him across. No one travels. So based on numbers, he'll block him. He'll block him. We'll get Kraft out to the flat. And again, this is probably some kind of RPO. But Love knows, why am I going to mesh and give him time to read this and get over? Like, he's got the space. Kraft is one of the most athletic tight ends in the league. Just let my guy get into space. Watt, as he's coached to do, squeezes this instead of coming upfield. Holcomb's going to squeeze that space behind him. Kraft's going to get to the flat. And this is perfect. You got one-on-one. He's probably going to try to run him off and then block. Kraft in open space. Really, it's just these two. If they turn around, make a play, maybe Patrick Queen's able to come from the backside. But this is just perfect. Like, you can't coach it better than that. Can't call better than that either. Let's go to the end zone view. I know there's not going to be much of a tell here. Like, that's just, come on. That's too easy. So touchdown on the second drive for the Packers. Great job. It's 7-3. Coming up on the end of the first quarter. 3 minutes, 20 seconds left. Backed up on their own 18. Let's see what they do. I believe this is the first play. Motion Golden across. Again, no one adjusts. I wouldn't be shocked if there's going to just be another quick route here. Another little stick. We get the play action instead. Beautiful. Okay. So no one comes with it. We're going to get play action. Elijah Wilson's going to come to the flat. We're going to get a delay release from Fitzpatrick at the top. And then we're just going to get a nice deep sit from Dobbs and then a clear out from Golden after the motion. So here, this is probably intended to be some kind of switch. And he sits down, and then we'll get the play action and the late leak. And then one of these two over the top. Just your typical play action flood pattern, but this takes a long time to develop, which is fine because they're giving you all this space. Like, this has probably been the Steelers' crutch from the games I've seen from them, is they give up so much space. And a lot of it has to do because of how they disguise their coverages and who they bring out blitzes. Like, they have both their edge rushers, Nick Herbig and TJ Watt, dropping in coverage, and they're blitzing Holcomb, right? Like, it's still, for all intents and purposes, cover 3. You got deep, you got deep, you got deep. I'm assuming Watt's supposed to take the flat, but nothing's there, so he's cutting his drop. You have Porter sitting inside as well. You got Herbig dropping. He probably, again, didn't see anyone in the flat, so just took a deeper drop, and then Patrick Queen's playing in the middle, which allows all of this space for Emmanuel Wilson to come up and make a play. Nice job. This is just good X's and O's. Okay, so let's see. So again, kind of a one high look. He could drop if he wanted to, but you're going to get this 2x2 look. Let's see what Love sees. Again, there's that same stick concept. This is what I was talking about with the Eagles. If you want cheap, easy yards, quick stick to the top. And especially with how, like, it's technically both 2/2, but he's playing way off this route. So just get it out to him. That's perfect. and let Tucker Kraft be Tucker Kraft. Like he's the perfect prototypical tight end in the NFL today. Like, and when people say Kittle light, like legit, he is that level talent. All right, so they bring out a very similar look. This looks like the same exact formation. Okay, except now they motion Golden. We get the bump from Ramsey. He's going to return back out. Nice. So you're going to kind of get this scat concept where you're going to get he flares out. You're going to get Kraft sitting in the middle, Dobbs sitting in the middle, and then some kind of deep over from Christian Watson. And the point is that the linebackers sit down and they're going to run a split coverage. You're going to hit that post. If they don't, and let's just say they run cover 3 of some kind, they're trying to stretch out the defense and force the flat defenders to stay tight because they see him coming inside. And you want to just influence him enough to make this guy sit so you can hit one of your flats. Because in theory, cover 3 should take care of this. Which in this case it does. They lose a yard. But it's to help set up tendencies. Like motioning Golden to the backfield, we're probably going to see something like that later. Maybe not this series, but definitely later in the game. All right, let's see. Okay, we got 3-by-1. Little deep shot to Dobbs. Just makes a misplay. This is on 3rd and 10. And yeah, you might be in 4-down territory. But if your mentality is 4 down, like if you got a one-on-one shot, you want to take it, especially if he cheats back to the middle, especially with the press here as well. But this is like a good, in my opinion, this is a good 2nd down play. That's hilarious from Kraft. Yeah, so we're going to get, I'll bring this back. If you play Madden, this is a concept. You're going to get to sit in the middle, the post, deep over the top. They might even have a comeback or a curl check, depending on what the coverage is. But with both these guys press, they're just going to take their chances one-on-one on the top. They also try to run a stunt where he loops over and Watt drops to take over the middle, but you're going to see Kraft just bully Watt on his release. And then Patrick Queen's on it. I wonder if they were trying to stunt Watt on this. Yeah, they were. Okay. So they were trying to, Queen was going to drop out. You were going to get a knife, and then Watt coming inside. And you're hoping because he sees the quick pressure, he's going to try to throw quick over the middle to Queen. So it's actually good that Love, his eyes look like they're on this safety here. So he sees him bail. He's like, shit, I'm just going to go deep. Let's watch this from the end zone just so we can make sure that eye alignment's right. Okay. Check snap just to see what's going on. Yeah. His eyes, even though the stripe started to the right, it's because he wants to pull the safety slightly over. Now you can barely see the stripe here is pointed in that direction to hold him there. And then he wants to throw that deep ball to the left. And he's fading back a little bit, which is why I don't think he gets enough on this. Like he's drifting. And yeah, he's able to step into it, or at least get his feet planted, but he doesn't really step into it. See how his weight's coming back? If he's here driving through the ball and his foot's not coming out, but it's coming forward, he probably gets enough on that to get it over the top. Instead, it comes inside and makes it a pass breakup for the DB. Okay. All right, so we're going to get Kraft was over wide, and then he motioned into the Y spot. So it's 3-by-1. Let's see what they choose to run here. Little play action. Okay. Was that PI? Did they not call that? That's interesting. Okay. So you're going to get this deep route from Dobbs. You're going to get kind of this cross vertical. I don't know if that's by design or just how the route was ran. Kraft is going to drag, and you're going to get the backside dig. That's probably what it's designed to open up if it's man coverage. So you're going to get the deep dig. You're going to get the deep cross and vertical. You're going to get kind of a mid-shallow crosser, and then you're going to get the deep out here after play action on the inside. Okay. And this is probably to help beat cover 3 Mabel of some kind, where you're going to get this overload to the sideline where the trips is crossing towards. Okay. So he's sitting cover 3. This is why they choose to run this, because you're going to get Wilson trying to play out here. He's supposed to have mid hook. He's going to drop and take this, and Golden's going to be open here because there's no way the safety's catching that. And I get why Jordan Love threw this pass. Like, he's got good leverage. He's just got to get the ball out there. He has a really clean pocket. So good decision on the throw. If it's not open, Golden will be open. If Dobbs doesn't eventually get open, which is what he did, and it was just a tough play to make, Golden would have been open on that cross and vertical. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so they're showing this mud look. They motion Golden in. Okay, so they get a little switch concept. It looks like Jordan Love gets hit here. So you're going to get this, it might even be switch sail, where they motion him in, and then he works back out, and Watson is just pushing this vertical somewhere, and then Kraft's going to check release and get to the flat. But Watson gets shoved, and that kind of messes up the timing with Golden. This is really good press play here. I believe that's Ramsey. He's still one of the best corners in the league. Like, he's not as good as he was when he was in his prime, but like, there are a lot of guys in the league that won't do this. He reroutes 2 guys effectively with this. He knows the switch is coming, so he jams Watson back into Golden. That slows Golden up because, look, they're going to have the space, whether it's Kraft or whether it's Golden. But because the timing gets messed up, Golden's not even in his break yet when he should have been in his break by now. He gets there 2 steps too late. So Love has to adjust and try to check it down. And he wanted Golden here. And you're going to see him pump and then check back down to Kraft, or at least attempt to. Let's check the end zone view. Okay. So he's going to drop. Got a 6-man rush. And he sees Golden's breaking. He pumps and then just gets destroyed by Highsmith. Like, again, like, good process, but really good play from Ramsey to completely disrupt that play. And again, that's Golden being a rookie and learning how to power through defenders, because that's tough, especially against Jalen Ramsey as good as he is. We're going to get bunched to the bottom, 12 personnel. We got 5 minutes left in the second quarter here. Steelers up by 2. Okay. A little check down here. I believe this is some kind of scissors concept. Yeah. Oh, no, this is just. Okay. So we're going to get. Fitzpatrick is going to block, and then he's going to release to the flat. Kraft is going to run the shallow corner. And I believe this is Golden's going to run the deep corner. Not sure what Dobbs did backside. Dobbs just runs a clear out / dig. Okay. What was he seeing here? I think he just saw Fitzpatrick open. His eyes are here, so he probably doesn't think the backside dig is eventually going to be open because he sees him sitting here. So Love is like, okay, I'm going to have to check down, and he sees Fitzpatrick open. Because here, this is a tight window, but he has the space if he throws out with anticipation. But because his eyes are here, That's going to pull him further. So it's going to look more open than it actually is. It's still going to be a tight window throw, but you can make that, especially someone like Love. If we watch this from the end zone, okay? So he drops. Eyes are to the right the entire time, which is pulling this defender down anyways. Dobbs is going to get into the picture here. That's a makeable throw. Jordan Love has made that throw many times in his career. And I think he makes that kind of throw later in this game, but just doesn't see it until he checks it down, which it happens. Like quarterbacks, that happens time to time. That's probably, besides some mechanic stuff, that's probably the first processing play I've seen where I'm like, if he just waits a half second, a better option will be open. Like, yep, he had the deep one-on-one, and he might have, if he waited a second, would have had Golden on that crosser a few plays ago, but the one-on-one was open. And it was the deeper play, right? That's the one that gets you more yards. That situation, Fitzpatrick is not getting you that many yards, but Dobbs would have gotten you more than that. So that's why I'm harping on a little more than I probably should, because, yeah, he completed a pass. He got it to an open guy, but that's just one small thing. If Love just waits half a click, that's there. And that's when we see him come from a good quarterback to great, right? Next play, you got 3rd and 3. Just over 4 minutes left in the first half. This is a time where you need to get not push the ball downfield, but this is when you can establish a drive, score going into the half, and going up on a Steelers team in their own house, okay? So you're going to motion. You're going to get 2 by 2. They're going to hard count. Love's going to read it out. Again, just based on the alignment, you're probably going to get a deep. Because, again, it's the Steelers. You want to assume it's cover 3 of some kind, even in this mug look, that you're going to get something like this. Even if the D tackles drop, you're going to get some structure like that. Now, could they run something different? Absolutely. Could they bring Ramsey off the edge and stunt inside? And then you have you have Queen going out, 1 in the middle, and then maybe Watt drops, and then you have this. Like, yeah, you could easily see something like that. But again, it's the structure. So let's see what they run. Okay, so they bring 4. Again, it's cover 3, like we've been talking about this whole episode. Even with the stunt, even with an apex blitz, you're getting the same structure. Okay. Gets it out quick to Kraft in space, and he just drops it. Shit happens. Okay. So you're going to get this motion away. Kraft's going to sit in the middle. Let's see where everyone goes. Dobbs is going to run the dig. You're going to get a smash to the top. Okay. So with this motion, and he's going to settle. Watson's here. Watson's going to run this. He's going to run this of some kind. We're going to get the dig, and then we're going to sit in the middle. Okay. This is designed to beat cover 2 or man coverage of some kind. This is designed to beat cover 3 on the bottom. So it's a two different ways to beat any coverage they come into. Now, Love's got pressure, so this has got to come out hot. He gets it there. Kraft just drops it. Very uncharacteristic of Kraft to do that. Let's check the end zone. And I don't know exactly what happened with the protection, but you're going to get Watt's going to stunt inside. Okay. So Jacobs is going to be able to pick it up, but he works out. Tom tries to work out. I wonder if Jacobs took the wrong path. But again, we talk about simulated pressures. We talked about that in the Falcons game. And what they were trying to do defensively. You got 2-on-1, 1-on-1, 2-on-1, and you have someone not blocking anybody and a free rusher coming through. Like, this is why simulated pressures are becoming the meta in the NFL for this exact reason. You have a 320-pound man bearing down on Jordan Love, and he's got to get the ball out quick, which he does. Like, Kraft has to catch that. and he just drops it. It happens. The best receivers drop the ball, right? But in that situation, that's a must-have. If they're playing a different team, probably ends up, that's a play that might spell a loss for them later on, which the Steelers are up by 9 going into the second, starting to go into the second half. Packers get the ball one last time. They got 30 seconds to drive. They're on their own 20. How do they respond? What do they do? They motion Golden across. Looks like it's going to be man of some kind, but again, they could just bail and check the cover 3, and everyone just bumps their coverages over. If that's the case, you're going to get Queen dropping here, deep, 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 flat, middle, middle. If it's cover 3, which is what they've been doing. But let's see. Yep, that's exactly what you get. So even though they make it look like man coverage, they play zone. And that's why it's getting tougher for teams to motion and get a tell if it's zone or man. Okay. So they motion to 3x3. Let's see what the offense does. This is a fun play a lot of teams are doing. They show that the tight end and running back are going to block and be in pass protection, and then they're going to check out and flare out. And you're going to get this lead swing. And this is by design, okay? Unless something gets open with one of your other 3 receivers, the intention is to check it down to the running back with a lead blocker instead of just him going to the flat, Kraft running something else, and then he's got no one to help block, okay? This is a good chunk yardage gain type play. So let's see what Golden and Watson do. They clear it out. This is probably an option route for Golden. Watson's going to run the clear cross here and just try to eat up space in the middle. Golden's going to run this, and it's going to convert into a deep dig. And then you're going to get that swing to the bottom. And again, this is 4 strong, okay? This is, again, another meta of the NFL. You're running 4 receiver bodies to the strength of the formation, okay? It's tough to cover 4 guys coming from the same side of the field. They can go anywhere. They could run some kind of flood concept, and then he's going deep to clear it out, and then you got the flat here. They could run some kind of switch sail, which is what they ran earlier, where he came in, he went out, something like that. A lot of different things they can run out of 4 strong. So defensively, you have to be sound in what you do. Okay. He sees Porter dropping to the deep third, so that's why he converts this to a dig. Okay. He checks it down, gets it to Jacobs. Jacobs gets good yardage, and he gets out of bounds. Good job. Now, that killed a lot of clock. Killed about, I want to say 5 to 7 seconds, which doesn't sound like a lot, but in this situation, to only gain 9 yards, that's a lot. Gains 8, actually. Okay, so we get 2 by 2. Really good throw, and he's inbounds. I don't know if they had any timeouts. Oh, let's go back to the sideline because I want to see what this route concept does. Okay. See, Kraft's going to help block. Oh, this is just a nice deep out concept. Okay, so Watson's going to push this vertical and then break out. If he bails inside, he probably converts this to a deep unless the DB maintains his leverage. Okay, so this is going to be a deep out. You're going to get a block and then an out from him. What do we got at the top? Again, this is a good play. This is like a perfect 2-minute drill type play. Or not 2-minute drill. Just get the ball out. This is really nice. I like this concept a lot. Jacobs is going to flare out. I believe Golden's going to sit, or it's the other way around. Golden's going to flare, and then Jacobs is going to sit and take up space in the middle. You're going to get the deep dig from Dobbs at the top. Boom. Flare, sit, or some combination with those two. Then you're going to get the check and the out, and then you're going to get the deep out here. Beautiful. This is what my main problem was with the Eagles, is that they didn't really do anything like this. Get your guys to the sideline. And look, he's inbounds. It's just good play by Porter. But it's not like Kraft is over here like Goddard was a few weeks ago, and then you try to hit him all the way on a deep flat to the outside during 2-minute drill. You have him to the boundary side. You have him block and then get out quick, and then you have your deep option. So if the deep is fully covered, you can check it down to Kraft, and Kraft can get yak and then get out of bounds. They take the deep shot here to the right. Really good protection on the stunt, and he's just in bounds. Okay, so clock's running. Or no, they had a timeout, so they called timeout. 18 seconds, okay? Let's see what they do here. Again, 2x2. Now Kraft goes to the field side with Watson. They motion Golden over to get this 3x1. Let's see what they do here. Kraft's going to stay in a block, then check release. Jacobs is going to check release. Okay. Again, you're just going to get a nice clear out, deep out, and then a flat block, check, release, deep out. And at the bottom, you're going to get flat, and then probably some clear out from Dobbs or an hour out. Yep. Pittsburgh gets a face mask, so the Packers getting good field position. 12 seconds left. They're at the 36. Okay. So now you have a decision to make. As a play caller, it's 1st and 10. Do I take a shot at the end zone and then we kick a long field goal? Or do I hit something quick, get on the ball and spike it, and then we kick a field goal? Or do I have a timeout? Unfortunately, NFL Pro doesn't tell me who has timeouts and who doesn't. I'm assuming they don't. But let's see. This is perfect. Like, this is like beautiful in terms of play call for this type of situation. Here's that same stick concept. Quick to the flat, especially with how off coverage they are. Like, yeah, it's Kraft is to the boundary, but he's not blocking and then releasing. He's going right away, which is going to pull him down and open up the space in the middle. Okay. Especially with the smug look from Queen. If it's cover 3, it's going to be tough for him to get over there in time. Okay. Wonder if it's the same at the bottom. In the bottom, you have, this is the second play they ran, or second pass play they ran. That same curl with the dig / sit option. You got the stick here. Boom. Okay. Nice. Get it out quick. Find green grass. Find the spot he's open. Okay. Did they get the spike in time? They didn't. They might have called timeout, and then I think he might have missed the field goal. I forget exactly how that half ended. But 40 minutes into the video, through the first half, we're going to try to speed it up a little bit as we go along. But I wanted to show you, like, they ran similar concepts consistently. They used motions to try to get tells in coverage, but when they dropped into what they know they're going to drop in, which in the Steelers' case is a lot of cover 3, then they're going to check it down and go elsewhere. Okay. So let's see. So they get the ball. I believe they got a 3 and out, 2nd and 10. Let's see what they do here. Little play action. Check down to Musgrave. This looks like some kind of flood. Oh, you actually get a bunch of guys blocking. Okay. But yeah, it's some kind of flood. You're going to get play action. Dobbs is going to run the shallow cross. Watson's going to run the flag. And you're going to block, and check release for both these two. I'm not sure if Kraft is fully staying in protection here. And if he's got to check somewhere, looks like he does. They get it to Musgrave out on the flat. Nice little chunk play. But again, for all intents and purposes, it's cover 3. Deep, flat, but he's squeezing, mid-hook, flat. And they bring 5. Just a 3-fire zone. And you got some kind of stunt. Okay. Motion Crafton, they did this earlier where he was wide and then they brought him inside the bunch. Let's see what they run. This is a cool route concept. Let's see. So you're going to get the over, you're going to get the push, and then the out. I'm not sure what is this. I believe this is Golden at the bottom. Not sure what he does. He does the in sit. Nice job. Okay. So again, in sit, deep dig, deep out. Just pick and choose. Wide open. Somehow the ball gets there. And this is just Kraft being Kraft. This is insane. This is why we say George Kittle light. Once he gets his blocking better, because he's already a good blocker. Once he gets really good, we're going to see a second coming of George Kittle in this league because he is sick. All right, let's see. Oh, and they brought, this is just straight up man. This might have been cover 1, but they bring 6. Let's see. Did Love get hit on this? He did. That's why it floated, but Kraft makes a great adjustment. That's just beautiful. Great job. Okay. All right, so now they're back to the bunch. I believe this is Musgrave or Fitzpatrick in the bunch. Kraft's going to be here. Let's see what they do. Nice little RPO. Similar to what they ran earlier. And this is on 4th and 1, they call this. This is good. And this is like, yeah, TJ Watt's probably helping in run support, but this is 3 on 3. Okay. So there's a lot of faith in what happens here. So you're going to get the RPO read. Okay. This might be duo of some kind, at least interior. Kraft's going to come out. You're going to get a stock block, and you're hoping one of these two guys blocks their man into the inside DB here. Okay. So you get the block. Interesting. I don't know if Heath messed this up. This actually looks like zone of some kind. I don't know if Heath messed this up or if this is by design to keep the DB here and allow Kraft space. Watt's not in the run fit. I wonder if, because he sees Watt's blocked. So I don't know why this isn't a give, but if Watt's not the read and he's reading the inside man because he's supposed to be on Kraft, at least based on leverage, that's why he throws to Kraft here because he sees him coming inside. Yeah, he's probably the read on this. Good read by Love. He sees him come in, and he's got all this green grass out here. Perfect. Beautiful. Actually, let's go back. Let's go back to this play because I want to see the end zone and see what he's looking at. Oh, come on, NFL Pro. I would like to see the end zone view, please. Come on. And this is somewhat of the challenge of doing stuff live like this is technology doesn't cooperate and we can't make it pretty in post. I mean, we could, but, is what it is. Okay. So let's see where Love's eyes go. Yeah, he's staring right at 21. This is Chuck Clark, I believe, staring right at him. He sees him bite, and you got all eyes towards the quarterback, and Kraft is just going unabated to the edge. Nice job. That's a good play call. Really, really solid stuff from this offense. Okay. All right, so again, it's 4 strong, even though it's 12 personnel, 4 strong to the field. Okay. They motion Jacobs away, try to get a tell, and they run a little Y screen underneath. Doesn't get much yardage, but decent. So the goal with this flare The flare motion is to pull the defense this way, which gives the lineman better blocking leverage for Kraft underneath on this little screen. If Fitzpatrick's going to flare out, and all these guys are going to push vertical to pull anyone to the 4 or now 3 strong side this way to open up the space in the middle. But Cam Hayward, wily veteran, very good at what he does, recognizes that he comes clean and immediately settles down to redirect. Now, yep, the ball's coming out, so you can attribute it to that. But Cam Hayward's smart. He comes folds, he comes down, boom, blocked. Or not blocked, excuse me, makes the tackle. Nice job by Cam Hayward. All right. So you got empty. So on empty, interesting. So they're going to play kind of 3-over-2 and 4-over-3. So you got 4 DBs to the 3 side, or just 4 defenders to the 3 side, and you have these 3 in a triangle playing these 2. Okay. Now they motion Savion across. So the safety's going to bump and check. And now you should have these 2 for this one, and he's getting added for 5-on-4. Oh, and this is just a nice little swing screen, and he scores. Beautiful. Okay. That's a nice move by Fitzpatrick. If the DB comes at him and doesn't blitz, he's going to pick him up. But he sees him go inside, so he's like, screw it. I'm just going to get upfield. And now instead of 3-on-5, it's now 3-on-4. And Savion's just going to outspeed Chuck Clark to the top, which he should, because if you have 1, 2, 3 on these 3, that's a lot of trash he has to try and get through to get to this guy. Okay. And especially because no one right now on the Steelers defense has outside leverage. What number is that? That's Chris Brooks. Chris Brooks is just at the top of the numbers. These guys are inside or not in. Yeah. Outside Lev. He lets Golden pick him up. That's just poor effort by Darius Slay. Like, he has 1, 2, 3 guys to his inside with Ramsey on the blitz. He has to be outside. But for whatever reason, he checks Patrick Queen out to it because there's a running back out there, which I understand. But you have to get outside. You're the force player on this. Especially like you see Queen's in your eyesight. Get outside. You have 2 free runners helping. Like, come on. And he just kind of just waddles up and whiffs. Jesus. That's benchable, fellas. That's bad. And what do you know it? He's not out here to start this next set. Granted, the Packers are in 12 personnel, so they're in their base, but still. Okay, so Kraft motions in. Little play action. They ran something similar earlier, where you're going to get this hook here. You're going to get this deep post of some kind. Play action man's going to come sit in the middle, and then you're going to get motion, and then he's going to flare, and he's going to flare. Okay. They show block, get to the flats, middle's open. Beautiful. This is a great cover 3 beater. Any kind of cover 3 they run, which in this case, they run a fire zone 3 again, where you're going to get deep, 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 flat, flat, middle. Like, these flats are going to take these 2 flats here, or excuse me, those 2 flats, and then the Patrick Queen should have this over the middle. But if Queen plays shallow, that hook's going to be open in the middle, because Jabril has to respect the post coming from Watson. But because Patrick Queen is so deep, Love's going to find space and just check it down. And he just gets good momentum, breaks 2 tackles. Great job. That's really solid. Okay, again, 4 strong to the top with the bunch. They motion out of it with Malik. Again, another 3 fire zone of some kind. This might even been. No, they brought 6 here. This is probably man coverage of some kind. Okay. So you can quick flat. Again, stick concept. They're going to motion him across. Stick, flat. This is their bread and butter. You get the double dig to the top. Just in case those are covered, you should have one of these 2 in breaking routes. Emmanuel Wilson's probably going to help it stay into helping pass pro, which he does. Beautiful. Just take advantage of the spacing. Good again, second and mid. 2nd and 6 earlier in the game. Similar field position. Call that quick. And they're down by 5. They're not panicking. We're deep into the 3rd. And they're still going to their bread and butter. They're not panicking. This is what makes Matt LaFleur such a good play caller. Oh, my Atlanta. Okay, so now we got 2nd and 4. They motion craft out wide. They're going to check out of it. Nice. Again, looks like a little. Now this is trip stick. Okay. Let's see. Yeah. So some people run it with a slant on the backside. Looks like the Packers run it with a deep curl. And then you're going to get the flat from the running back. But essentially, after Kraft motions out, you're going to get either an outside curl or an outside turning hitch or the quick out. You're going to get another quick out here and then some kind of clear out / curl to the bottom. Exactly what happens. Golden finds a space. Again, a good cover 3 beater. Reason being is Ramsey has to work out to the flat. You're going to get Musgrave on the hook. So Golden, because he has outside leverage, should have that all day. Unless Ramsey undercuts it. Or they run something different. Let's see what they do. Nope, same cover 3 drops. Golden's open. Nice job. 2nd and 4. Good play call. Get the quick first down. Next play. 1st and 10. They're at the 43. Again, 4 strong to the field. They motion craft away from it. Let's see what they run. There's the stick. I was going to say it, and I didn't want to. But, again, there's the quick stick. This was their go-to play against cover 3 in this game. At the top, you're going to get clear outs, and they're going to find Jacobs in the flat, short gain. Okay? So let's see. Does Love look right away? Yeah, he does. He sees the linebackers playing tight and the corners coming down to it. So if you know that, he looks back right. He sees, yeah, this is a good check down. Lots of green grass here. You might have the backside dig, but Queen's covering the middle pretty well. So you don't get the exact look you're looking for, but it's good play by, again, Jalen Ramsey. Really solid. Okay, 4 strong. No motion. They bring 6 again. Love's going to get outside and just throw a chuck ball to what? Oh, my God. This is insane. I wonder if this is that same chip stick. Yeah. So you're going to get the chip, and then he's going to sit. You should get some kind of post, or you might convert this into a dig, and then he's going to run deep or the post, depending on the coverage. Okay. And then you're probably going to get a clear out / a curl or come back to the top. Good blitz pickup. I can't believe that got there. Let's watch this from the end zone so we can see what he's seeing. Okay. Good pass pro. C's got green grass, finds his way over. That's just, oh. If this DB keeps his feet, Who's that? 22. That's Juan Thornhill. Oh my God, this might be a pick. Look at how early he jumps. And he's backpedaling. Just keep turning and running. I can't believe that was a completion. Good throw. A better safety might be getting a hand on it, but that's just, again, that's the part of Jordan Love's game that he's unlocked. So Kraft motions across. Looked like they tried to fake that little swing this time. So you're going to see Dobbs is going to run the cross. Kraft's going to block and then release. This is what they did earlier. But then afterwards, he's going to get vertical. So I wonder if they were trying to fake the swing on this. Yeah, see? See how he's faking like he's going to block and then he's going to run past? The hope is that this corner is going to squeeze this and that's going to open space for Kraft. And if he doesn't, this ball's got to come out now to the seam. But he sees the green grass, so he checks it down, which is fine, given the situation. Gets decent yards. Okay, 4 yards there. 1 possession game, 3-point ball game. So Packers, all they have to do is score touchdown, pressures back on the Steelers, because the pressure's been on the Packers this entire game. And now they have a chance to flip that. So again, you get 4 strong. Oh, gee, they motion away. I wonder if it's going to be stick. I wonder if it's going to be stick. Oh, wow, it's stick. How did Mike Tomlin not adjust to this? This is the 4th time they've ran that motion. Yeah, it's a short gain. But, like, come on. It's a good play by Peyton Wilson. I don't know why I got mad out of nowhere before seeing what happened on the play. Okay, this is the adjustment was they bumped him and they rolled the safety down. And then they replaced or blitzed off this. Beautiful. Okay. That's a good job. Good job, Mike Tomlin. So now Matt LaFleur's seen that adjustment. So now I'm wondering if later, if they get the opportunity to, they're going to run this, and then he's going to get vertical, and he's going to run a post. And they're going to run like a little switch wheel concept. And then maybe something shallow underneath later. But I digress. I don't think we'll see that later. Is that the last pass play they ran? No. I was like, no shot. Okay. Did he just get out of the huddle late? Yeah. Okay, so bunch to the top. He's trying to motion Watson. Watson doesn't know the play because he hasn't been here all season. Okay. So again, they're showing man based on the follow, but it's probably going to convert to cover 3. Oh, they actually run man here. Okay. Let's see. Motion. Oh, yeah. See you later. Great job. Okay. So you're going to get this clear out. I believe it was a deep post. You're going to get Kraft. He's going to run either a shallow cross or a slant, depending on what you want to call it. Looks like a slant to me. And then you're going to get a smash to the top. Okay. This is perfect. So you're going to get the motion from Watson. I believe Watson's going to run the smash or the flag. You're going to get the sit here, and you're going to get the clear out, and then some kind of curl, short post, slant, shallow cross, or whatever you want to call it. They actually switched that at the bottom, but that's okay because it still opens up space. That's beautiful. All right, we got 6 plays left. Packers are up by 10. They're at midfield with just under 9 minutes to go in the 4th. Probably not going to see that much more exotic stuff, but let's see. Nice little play fake. Get the deep cross from Watson. Oh, that's a great pass. Okay. So you're going to get play action. You're going to get deep post of some kind. You're going to get this crossing route here. and probably one of the tight ends of the running back checking down either in the middle or to the flat. Okay. So let's see what Love does. He sees the creeping blitz. So he knows someone's going to be too shallow and he's going to have that just based on the pre-snap step up. And that's going to be Patrick Queen and Jabril Peppers. That's beautiful. And yep, you had two players going out to the right in the flat. Okay. So let's check this from the end zone. Okay. So he's going to release through the D gap. A lot of teams are running this typically to the B gap, but you're going to get this release and he's going to cross over from here. They fake the counter. Patrick Queen's too slow. Beautiful. So now they're an empty 2nd and 10. Nice quick check down. Now this isn't exactly stick, but it's a variation of it where you're going to get the check and then the release. You're going to get a deep route of some kind, maybe an out or a corner. Let's run it as a corner. Check, then release, and then Golden's just going to sit somewhere in the middle. Some people call this spot. I still think you consider it stick, but then he loses yards like an idiot. Again, he's a rookie. Stuff happens. So now you got 3rd and 9. You're in field goal range, but that still keeps it a 2-possession ball game. So if I'm a play caller, I want to get something that one can either get us closer to field goal range or make the field goal shorter if we decide to kick a field goal, or we get yards to make it an easier 4th down conversion. I'm not trying to go for the end zone. I'm not trying to hit a big play to get a 1st down right now. I'm doing something short to get us moving. Okay, so let's see what Matt LaFleur does. Oh, that's beautiful. Okay. So again, kind of that. Nice. Okay. So you're going to get the slow release check down. You're going to get a post or a dig over the middle. And then you're going to get corner and then a sit in the middle. Okay. So if it's cover 3, which in this case, it looks like fire 3. Actually, it looks like, yeah, fire 3. Or no, this might just be interesting. Yeah, this is a cover 3 invert of some kind where you're going to get Bale. He's going to come down and take over this space. Queen's either going to come here or he's going to come all the way out. He's in the middle. Highsmith's to the flat, deep, and then he's getting in the middle. And again, by design, okay, you have 2 short routes to get you closer to a 1st if you need it, and a flat. But then if somehow it gets open, you got 2 guys running past the sticks. That's just really good play design and a good play call for that moment in the game. Great job. Okay. 29-19, 2nd and 6. Going to run bunch. You're going to motion Fitzpatrick over. Now they're going to motion Kraft. Little play action. I believe this was Love's first incompletion in quite a while. I think he completed like 20-something passes in a row. Okay. Kraft's going to motion. And it's some kind of crossing action. So he'll motion. Okay. You're going to get deep over. He's going to come under. He's going to go here. Simple play action concept. I think it just gets tipped. Nope, just missed. Didn't get enough arm strength on it. It's fine. Now you got 3rd and 6. I like that play call. It was there. Just didn't get the ball to where it needed to be, which is fine. Okay, so they're going to motion. So now Kraft is ISO. They bring 4, and he just blatantly throws this out of bounds, which is fine. But maybe he thought queen was going to sit in the middle. This looks like man coverage. Yeah, this is just straight up man, and no one goes with golden. And I think Love probably should have seen this pre-snap. Yeah, maybe they could have gone still their normal cover 3 look out of this, where he's got deep, he takes flat, he takes middle, and they could just run with these 4 here. But his eyes, to give him a tell of what was going on, should have been on queen right away. Just based on the alignment. Like, you had 2 linebackers to the field side, and everyone else is to the boundary. Like, that should give you a tell that, okay, this is probably going to be man. But, again, I digress. Golden's running wide ass open here. He'll see that. Next time he'll see that, because I know LaFleur is going to grill him on this. And this is, again, something that's going to take Jordan Love from good to great is that personnel recognition. That's a lot of how a lot of the top QBs are able to be as good as they are. They recognize little things like that. Okay. 3rd and 3, up by 2 scores. A field goal, it's still a 2-possession game, but let's see what they run here. Nice little sprint action. There's just no one for Love to throw to. Okay. So you're going to get this play action sprint where he's going to come here. You're going to get a flat here. You're probably going to get some kind of crosser, some kind of corner from one of these 2, and then someone just spotting up in the middle. So if the defense is completely flowing to all this flow action going this way, you should have one of these guys just sitting in the middle open. So let's see what Love sees. Play action, gets his head around, clean pocket. My eyes immediately would go to Musgrave here. And yep, you could say 2 guys are on him, but he's got the leverage, okay? And especially because he's going to run with this flat. Now, where he throws, what he looks to, he does look at it. It's covered. So he resets. He probably wants to throw to Dobbs here, but he sees this is also heavily covered. So everything is getting taken care of. And now he's just trying to find space and time and can't get rid of it. Okay, whatever. It's at the end of the game. It's 3rd and 3. But again, if I'm being super nitpicky, this is where he can improve. Like, take a shot. Like, yeah, it's tight. But both these guys are going this way. Throw it here. And yeah, you don't want to make a stupid turnover, right? Like, and you don't want them to get a pick 6 of some kind. So I get why he did what he did. But again, it's there. Okay. That's going to do it for this episode of Tape Talk. I appreciate everyone tuning in and everyone checking in on this series. Packers are a damn good team. And we've talked about that the whole season. And they're not even at their peak yet. Like, this is going to be a scary team. Once this offense cleans up a few of those little mistakes, that's what's going to make this team a top contender, is when when Jordan Love starts to figure out those personnel reads, stepping into his throws more, playing more on time. And he played on time a lot this game. And there were some moments where he seemed like he was off by just a hair. But that's going to make him a much better quarterback once he fixes 1, 2, or even all 3 of those things, right? It's tough to do, but quarterbacks have done it in the past. And he's someone who has the ability to. Other takeaways, Tucker Kraft is a menace. Offensive line played great. They dealt with some really exotic stunts and did a great job picking it up in pass pro. And when Jaden Reed comes back, and I believe Dontavion Wicks is going to be able to come back at some point this season. I'm going to check that real quick. But yeah, he should be back. He should be back at some point this season. But when they get all those guys back, and then you still have Savion Williams if you want to use him, Bo Melton, who's more of a corner now but has receiver experience. Malik Heath's probably going to get either inactive or he's going to get bumped back down to the practice squad. But they have weapons. And Emmanuel Wilson just showed you he could be a really good spell back, which we knew he was a good one, but he had a really good game this past Sunday night. This team's going to be really dangerous heading into playoffs as long as everyone picks up the slack and everyone stays healthy, which is always, the determining factor for a lot of these type of teams at this point in the season. But anyways, if you like what you saw here and you want to see more, this is the 4th episode of the series. As I said at the beginning of the episode, feel free to check in on all the other ones we've done throughout the past couple of weeks. This is going to be a weekly occurrence. Next week should have a poll unless there's a game. Just like this week, I saw there was something specific I wanted to go over. Feel free to check that out. That's over at my Instagram. That'll be in the description below, so feel free to check that out. And we also have other great content at thehouse-enterprise.com. Lots of great blogs, lots of great podcasts, lots of great videos like this with in-depth analysis on different things across sports, media, and just other industries in the business world. So feel free to give all of those a look. And we will see you guys next week when we probably going to go defense next week, get back to the defensive side of the ball. But if we don't, we'll see you guys next week regardless. Thanks for tuning in.